Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for January 11. January 11 is the 11th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 354 days remaining to the end of the year, 355 in leap years. Today's word is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a noun that means the naming of a thing or action by vocal imitation of the sound associated with it, such as buzz or hiss. Onomatopoeia is also a word formed by onomatopoeia, or the use of words whose sounds suggest sense. Some more examples of onomatopoeia include fizz, jingle, toot, pop, hiccup. There are so many more. The word onomatopoeia comes to us through Latin, originally from Greek, a combination of words that meant to make a name. To make a name. First known use of the word onomatopoeia is in the 1500s. Onomatopoeia. And with that, Michigan Territory was established by an act of the United States Congress on January 11, 1805. This would come into effect later in the year, and Michigan would become a state some years later. And of course, we'll talk about that when it happens. In the lead up to the war between the states, commonly known as the American Civil War, Alabama seceded from the United States on January 11, 1861, to become part of the Confederate States of America. The Grand Canyon. What an amazing natural phenomenon. It averages about 4,000 feet deep and is about 6,000 feet deep at its deepest point. 277 miles long and 18 miles wide at its widest point. The Grand Canyon was established as a national monument on January 11, 1908, and it will become a national park later on. Hopefully, I can remember to tell you about that when it happens. The Grand Canyon gets millions of visitors every year and from all over the world. It is quite something, the Grand Canyon. This is the birthday of Victoria Ann Teresa Peterson, born January 11, 1958. We know her as Vicki Peterson, lead guitarist for the Bangals. She described herself as a kid who brought her guitar with her everywhere and would play for anyone who would listen. In 1981, she founded the Bangals with her sister Debbie Peterson and Susanna Hoffs. The Bangals disbanded in 1989, but have gotten back together occasionally for reunion gigs, and Vicki has remained active in the business, playing and singing with the Continental Drifters and Psycho Sisters, and singing harmony vocals on recordings with other artists. Vicki Peterson. Being Vicki Peterson's birthday, of course we're going to talk about a Bangles song today. Pretty sure we've talked about Walk Like an Egyptian at some point. Some other notable Bangles songs are Manic Monday, Hazy Shade of Winter, and In Your Room, but I think today we'll talk about their song Eternal Flame. This lovely power ballad was written by Tom Kelly, Billy Steinberg, and the Bangles' Susanna Hoff. The concept for this song was inspired by the eternal flames that were significant to two of the songwriters, the one at Elvis Presley's gravesite at Graceland, and one at the synagogue in Palm Springs. The song Eternal Flame appears on the Bangles' 1988 album Everything, was released as a single in January of 1989 and hit number 1 in 9 countries. Lovely song Eternal Flame by the Bangles. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.